We're gonna cry on a video again! Hello my friends, Valentine's Day is just around the corner, and so in honor of that, Annie and I decided to post these stories on our Instagram story. We asked you guys to send in some questions. You guys sent in some amazing questions. And to help me answer them today, unfortunately she can't be here today, but she's tuning in all the way from Philly. Welcome, the one and only.
Hi, this is Annie.
If you guys don't know, Annie is my amazing partner, girlfriend, all-around extraordinary human being. If you guys watched my How We Met for the First Time video, then you'll probably recognize her, but if you haven't yet, you can go check it out. We're gonna be answering questions about love, about long distance, self-development, balance, and jealousy, and you guys sent in so many incredible questions, and we cannot wait to answer them.
Yeah, can't wait to get to them. So, shall we?
Yeah, let's do it. Question number 1. How old are you guys?
I'm 21 currently, but I'm turning 22 tomorrow, so by the time that this video is out, I'll be 22.
And I'm 21, turning 22 in September.
Next, working on any song together?
Glad you asked! We actually just released a song recently. If you're watching this video, it's out now. Annie and I worked on it. It's called Won't Forget. She actually wrote the song and she can tell you more about it.
I was like writing some poetry and then I was like, well, I can put a melody over it, and so it just became a song, and then it became for him. Did you know you're like the topic of like all my songs?
Wow, thanks. Even the roses are red, violets are blue.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so she wrote the song for me. I heard it, I cried, and I said, you know what? I want to produce this. Can I produce this for you? And so, you know, it ended up with me writing a verse on it. She came to Vancouver. We finished up and mixed the entire thing. We are so proud of it. The song is like our baby, you know? So go give it a listen.
It will be up there and you guys can click on the link.
Also in the description below. Next question. How did you feel when you saw each other for the first time? Were you nervous? I love this question.
Yeah, no, I was so nervous like seeing him for the first time. I wasn't like scared at all. I think because I knew that I was just meeting my favorite person, so it was just excitement. It just felt like amazing, like finally connecting with the person that you love the most. It's everything. Honestly, everything. What about you?
Well, if you guys saw my video, which, you know, if you're probably tuning in watching this, you will know how nervous I was. Literally, like, the entire premise of the video was like me being nervous to meet for the first time. And so, like, that was the predominant feeling. But, y'all, I tell you, like, just to give it more context, the moment I laid eyes on her...
Aww.
Well, yeah, the moment I laid eyes on you, like, the moment I saw you in the airport, like, walking in, it's like seeing a year-long promise walk through the door in all white.
Aww. Next question. Are you guys gonna stay together permanently? Do you guys intend to get married? Do you guys see each other living together, married with a child? Do you guys have plans to live in the same city one day? Do you have a time frame about how to close the distance? Question mark, question mark?
Nah.
Joking.
Joking. Of course.
I'm the type of person to think about things long term. I'm kind of in it for the long run. So, I mean, all the things that you guys have asked, I obviously don't know for certain whether any of those things are going to happen, but the intention of this relationship is to get there eventually. From
the start, like, we've always kind of been in it for the long run. Like, we're dating not just for fun, but, you know, for the purpose of actually getting married and having like family and something long term. And of course, you know, like, I pray that all those things happen, of course. Like, who wouldn't want those things to happen? And of course, at the same time, like, you know, we're both open to whatever life has for us, and, you know, we're gonna do our best. I think that's the intention, you know. As for a specific time frame, probably not anything like too crazy soon.
We're not thinking about the time frame too specifically. It's just whatever happens. We'll let life kind of take the wheel, and I mean, hopefully I'll be where he is and he'll be where I am. Like, wherever life takes us, we'll make it work. So.
Question number 5, and this one's all about balance. How do you find the right balance between work and relationships? This is a really good question, and probably the thing that we've had to learn, you know, the most, I think, over the course of this relationship.
I feel like it's a little difficult when we're both together because we don't see each other often. Whenever we do see each other, it's like, I want to spend every single second with you. And so I'm like tied to his hip. We're literally just like being bums and potatoes, like cuddling or eating sandwich, I don't know, doing whatever it is that we're doing and that we're not working. And so what we have to do is intentionally set a time aside to work or develop ourselves, journal, go on a little trip by ourselves in order to get our heads straight. I find that if we were together, like if we were in the same city or if we lived in the same place, like house or anything, and I knew that he was always gonna be there, like I wouldn't worry too much about having to spend time with him so much, because I'm like, okay, well I can spend time with you tomorrow, I'll just see you tomorrow, I'll see you next week. But then because our time together is so limited, I most times am not working on any videos and not really as productive, but we're working on it. We're trying our best. We're trying to set aside actual time to work when we are together. And as for long distance, I think we work better when we're apart. Like, because I'm by myself, he's on his own, he has his own schedule, he has work, he has like clients that he tends to, and for me, like I'm doing my own work. No matter what we do throughout the day, we'll meet up at the end of the day, talk, and then catch up, and that's kind of how we work, and that's our balance. Next question, does jealousy occur in your relationship being far apart?
Honestly, I've never felt jealous. A, because I trust her completely, and B, I'm a freaking catch! What do you mean? Just kidding. No, that's honestly how I feel. Like, I just trust her completely. Are you flirting with me on a video?
Am I?
Shh, guys, look away.
Me neither. I've always felt comfortable with him specifically. Like, I feel like for most people, the long distance issue is like, you don't know what they're doing all the time, but I know with him, it's like, I don't really care about what he's doing. I just know that he's just, he's loyal. He's gonna be here for the long term, and so he can do whatever he wants. He can go see a girl friend, right? Like he has many girls in his life, women, and just like friends in general. Like I don't really care. I let him do what he wants, and I think it's important to build trust because that's kind of the foundation of the relationship, right? If you are kind of antsy and kind of piggybacking on them all the time about what they're doing, how are they going to share with them or like open up about anything? It's all about the foundational trust.
No trust, no relationship. Next question. Do you both ever feel bored with one another? I know relationships aren't always lovey-dovey.
We're comfortable. We're like, we can just like sit around and do nothing, and that's totally cool. We can be bored together, but I personally am never bored of him.
How could you?
Like, I'm never bored of you. There's always going to be something to talk about, something to work on, and there's always fun things that we do together. It's just like you're literally like my best friend. Like you're my favorite person ever. How could I ever get bored of you? It's just, if we're bored, we'll literally be like, okay, we're bored. What do we do?
I think it's not so much bored, but it's just comfortable. Like exactly what she said. How could I be bored of my best friend? It's like, she's my favorite person in all of existence. It's important to acknowledge that the spark needs constant effort and attention. You can either be comfortable or you can be complacent, and they're not the same thing. Being comfortable means that you can take care of the fire, you're feeding it, and so it keeps you warm and it's very nice. Being complacent is like, oh hey, the fire's there, I'm not gonna throw any more wood into it, and then it gets uncomfortable, and then eventually the flame dies. The spark needs constant attention, and so that's kind of like the paradigm that we take for our relationship, is that if we feel ourselves like getting, bored or like, things feel a little mundane, then we're going to actively ask one another. It's like, hey, it's been a while since we've gone on a date. You want to go on a date? And so that's how we practically take care of the flame.
Also, reminding everyone that love is a choice, right? So it's not a feeling. It's not something that stays forever. If love was based on a feeling, it'd fade because we never feel something so strongly forever. The same way that we get inspired. Inspiration and motivation doesn't keep you going. It's the consistency. It's the want and the willingness to constantly choose, to constantly work on someone or something. And so since love is a choice, I choose to love you, and I choose to constantly work on us, whether it is that even if it's stagnant, we find a way to make it interesting. If we're bored, we'll find something exciting to do. If we have a problem, we'll talk about it, we'll work it out. It's a constant choice to be there and show up for the person.
Amen!
Ooh, this is spicy. Who asked this question? How do y'all manage with sexual temptations on a long distance relationship?
We're gonna talk about it. Mom, I'm sorry. As for sexual temptations in relation to other people, like I've never really felt that, because it's like I got you type of thing. Like, that being said, is there such a thing as attraction? Yeah, like, might you see like a really good looking guy walking down the street, or like on Instagram? Might you see like a really good looking girl like at the beach or something like that? Yes, that's true. Like, attraction is still there, and it's a biological reality. That's just how the human body and evolution has like kind of shaped us to be. Now, what's important though is the choice. As she mentioned in the previous question, love is a choice. The attraction can arise, and the attraction is the feeling, but ultimately what determines your relationship is what you choose to do with that feeling. And you know, for myself, I'm like fully in, fully committed, y'all. The great thing is that we can both find people very attractive. You know, it's like, oh, wow, he's really hot. And she's like, oh yeah, he's really hot. Or like, oh, she's really hot. And she's like, oh yeah, she's so hot. And then we like kind of meme it together.
I guess like agree. We mutually
definitely.
We will mutually agree that someone is attractive, and we don't feel any sort of way about it, because it's again, there's trust there.
Now, as for with one another, that's private. Next question. How did your opinions/insights on happiness, independence, and love come to be? Or what were they influenced by? Was it through reading? If that's the case, what did you read? Or through your own experience and reflection, or something else? For me, a large part of my conceptualization of a healthy relationship kind of stems from my experience being in the church, honestly. Like, because I grew up in the church until like the age of 18. You know, it's been a little while since I haven't been so much kind of in that circle. So it's that, so church, but also role models. There's this one couple who's always been kind of in my life, especially from church, and they have like the most amazing like marriage and relationship, and they're honestly goals. And so like I asked them a lot of questions, and they give such good advice, and so they were able to help me really come up with a healthy conceptualization of relationships. Because as we'll talk about this in a future question, you know, sometimes your parents can't always give that to you, and so it's important to find those references for yourself.
Also, another thing is, I think seeing what not to do. being in relationships that aren't necessarily the healthiest, or seeing people in relationships that aren't the best. I think you can learn a lot from them, whether that be on TV, whether it be people you actually know. You get what I mean?
Yeah, I completely agree.
Next question. What did your parents teach you about love? What lessons are good or bad?
So just for some context, I grew up and it was just my mom. My dad would visit sometimes, but he wasn't a big part of my life since he was always far away. And so kind of my entire idea of love was taught to me by my mom, and she did an incredible job. She's like one of the most amazing,
she is the sweetest human being.
And at the same time, I also learned by looking at my parents' relationships and seeing kind of the flaws there, and seeing how, you know, they weren't able to handle the distance, and just, you know, like learning from their mistakes.
What I learned from my parents is actually, I guess, like what not to do. Their relationship between themselves weren't necessarily the healthiest per se, but I've learned a lot from it, seeing it now as an adult, like looking back and seeing that my mom and my dad did love each other. It's more so just like, you know, with the differences, with, you know, growing apart, things happen. And if only people knew how to communicate better, if people kind of put their ego out the door, I think you can find a way to make things work, if only you are willing to.
Another thing that I've learned kind of like, I guess from your parents' relationship as well, like, because we learn things from one another's, you know, each other's relationships, is how important it is to talk about money, you know, and to be on the same page when it comes to that.
Yeah, I wanted to add in that like finances and just any talk about money shouldn't have to be so much of an issue. It's just a conversation anyways. And if you separate your emotions, like you said, and just talk about it, like it's just any topic that you would talk about with your partner, right? There's a way to talk about it. And I think if you start at a very early stage, talk about money, it becomes a common thing that you guys talk about. You guys become a team where you share things that you've learned, so that we can both kind of grow in this money journey together. Not like grow rich or make money fast, but more of like, how can we...
We're gonna get that bag together though.
But how to manage your money, right? How to talk about money, how to budget right. It shouldn't be a problem. Talking about money can be as simple as talking about apples, right? Talking about what we want to eat next.
So what do you want to eat?
I want to eat more sushi.
Last question. What are your favorite things about each other?
I think there's just like so much that I love about you, and it is ever more growing. It's infinity and beyond. But my favorite thing about you, I think it's your patience with me. It's your patience, it's your open-mindedness, the way that you value yourself, the confidence in yourself. I don't know, there's so many things I love about you, from your ambitious side to your soft side to just everything, but I love you for you. And I hope that you don't think that like you have to be anything that you're not to be loved by me. You are enough for me.
We're gonna cry on a video again! Oh, we're crying again! Where do I even start? It's such a cop-out thing to say that my favorite thing about her is her being her. But it's genuinely how I feel. Like, the way you affirm yourself while doing a yoga pose.
There's this one yoga
I free
post.
myself from the shackles of self-hatred.
There's this one page, I totally forgot the name of it. It's on Instagram, I'll link it below. It's basically this yoga frog where the frog's like doing like this one yoga pose with like affirmations. And I do the yoga poses and I do the affirmations. It's so fun.
Yeah, so I love that side of her.
What about it?
It's the best! Hello, I do it with you. It's pretty fun.
That's true.
Yeah, I love the way we walked out the door and we're just singing Mary Did You Know? With our blankets over our head. My favorite thing about her is that she is so herself. You know, like, you are so unafraid to be yourself, and that is the thing that I've always loved about you, even when we were just friends. Right? That's what I told everyone. I was like, she is so unafraid to be herself.
Aww.
Right? Yeah, I think my favorite thing about you is your ability to be yourself. And for that I love you. You know?
I love you too. Thank you.
And with that out of the way, that is our Valentine's Day Q&A. We sincerely hope you enjoyed this, and we hope you enjoy our song. Again, won't forget, is linked below. Go give it a listen. We're super proud of it. It's kind of our baby, and go share it with your loved ones as well. Tag us on Instagram if you've been watching this, and we want to say hi to you.
Thank you so much for having me here.
Well, she's gonna be here in April. Just look out for that.
Yeah, I am. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I literally just bought the flight last night. So I'll be there soon. You guys will catch me there soon.
And until then, we'll catch you guys next time. Bye!